we've actually built like 5 wells in Africa today. Hey, that's a nice news story. Oh, okay. Look, America, we're actually pushing forward with this railway that's gonna like connect all the states from like east to west or so like that. It would seem there would be like one news station out there that just puts out how we're progressing as a civilization.
No. All right, so we're back at it again.
Yep, take another crack.
Yep. So I don't know. It's been a while. There's of course a lot of things have happened. So
I know, honestly,
I don't know what we're gonna talk about this time, but
I don't know what we ended off on like the last time.
I don't know either. I mean, it's been so long. I think we were just catching up on like the state of the world, you know, with the where COVID-19 left us, and then of course the protests and brutality and stuff like that. The protests hadn't gotten as bad. It was definitely before the insurrection.
Oh yeah.
That's a whole different ball game. And oh yeah, Donald Trump was still a president back then.
Yeah.
A lot of things have changed, huh?
Wait, has it been? Yeah, it has been, because it took me like a while to like do an edit and throw it up. So yes, it has been that long. Okay, all right, I got you.
It has been a while. And now we have a new president. You know, and everybody is like, of course, it's a mixed bag. Of course, you know, there are those that are, you know, pro Biden, and there are those that are, you know, against Biden. And people ask me, well, who did you vote for, and what's your take? And I'm like, well, here's the thing. It's not about who I voted for, who I didn't vote for, or why I voted for this person over that person. I innately believe I don't like politics in general, period. Point blank, period.
They are pretty negative.
You know, but I also believe that it doesn't matter who's president. They're really going to do whatever they want to do. And there's not much we as the people can do. Now, of course, everybody wants to believe that we the people have power. But honestly, we the people do not have power.
At least not as much after the person gets into office, I would say. Because once they're in office, like you said, they kind of do what they're going to do.
Exactly.
But depending on who gets into office, they can generally steer it in a certain direction.
Correct.
Like, again, like a lot of people's gripes with Trump was saying that, okay, he lowers the taxes for like the rich and allow his businesses to kind of
course,
do
he's
their
a
thing.
businessman first.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So that was their kind of thing. But having like somebody else in power, they probably gear it more towards, again, the environment, or maybe even like the lower class that's actually trying to help people. But again, that's after they already have the power. Once they're in power, they just pass whatever fucking bills they're going to pass.
Exactly.
Whatever will get them the most votes.
And a lot of people supported Trump, and they were like, well, I supported Trump because of the fact that, you know, he's not a politician, he's a businessman. And, you know, politicians are crooked and this and that. I understand that, but here's my thing. The moment he ran for office, for president, he became a politician.
Yeah, that's true.
End of story.
Me personally, I would say too, like they say politicians are crooked, but are businessmen not crooked?
Exactly.
Do they not manipulate the stock markets?
If you look at Donald Trump and the way he's handled his business, you know, before his presidential run or whatever. You know, I mean, you know, he wasn't the most savvy businessman. I mean, he probably had a good team behind him, but I mean, he filed bankruptcy more than any other, you know, like billionaire or millionaire that I know personally.
Right.
But I mean,
which, to be fair, could have been like the strategic thing to do at that time.
Correct.
But that doesn't bode well for your record when you're trying to say he knows how to get America from being trillions of dollars in debt.
Correct. And he didn't do that because when he left, America was more in debt than when he got there.
And it's always going to be like that.
And it's always going to be like that. And Biden's probably going to make it even worse than what Donald Trump did. And so it's like, at the end of the day, like, conspiracy theory and now say whatever you want to say, I still honestly believe that the whole world, the government of the whole world is run by a very small group of very powerful and influential people. Right. Which we don't know who they are. Many names they've been called by many names. The Illuminati, the this, the that. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they call themselves. But I believe that they sway things the way they want it to go. And it's not really us that we think that we're in power. We're really not in power. We're just on here for the ride. That's it. And, that's why I tell them, strap your boots on, put your seatbelt on, and hold on to something. It could get bumpy.
I mean, that's definitely in the realm of the possibility, though.
So because if you think about it, there's strategic things that happen that I'm like, okay, why is it like this? Why are they doing this? Why are they saying it like this? Why are they saying that like that? Okay, so, so yesterday, for my wife, your sister, she showed me something on Facebook about this lady who had a son who was about to be checked into. He checked into a hospital, and because of course he's an adult, he checked himself out, but he had some condition where, if they didn't give him a certain treatment, he would basically die. Okay. Because he was addicted to, I don't know if it was narcotics or whatever it was, and he said, "Okay, I'll do it, Mom, but only if you're there with me." But of course, with COVID, if you get him in the hospital right now, then they're not going to lie and want to see you. They're not going to lie and want to come in there with you. So she, from what I understand, the lady has also her own podcast and on Facebook and does a lot of things like that. So she took to social media and voiced, and was just asking people to pray for her and help. And within an hour, somebody knew somebody who knew somebody. And somebody made a call to the hospital, and they were like, "Let this woman in with her son. She's coming in." They were like, "Listen, once you come in, you got to stay. Pack all you need. You might be there for 6 weeks or so, or whatever the case may be." But and my wife was like, "Wow, that's awesome." Blah blah blah. And I was like, and that is the reason why the powers that be will never let us unite, because when we unite as a common front to attack a common goal, we achieve that goal.
Right.
However it's done, we achieve it. I explained to her that even in the Bible, even God himself found this out. With people, I don't know where I told the story about the Tower of Babel, where they decided to build a tower to heaven, and God didn't pay them any mind at first until they actually breached the clouds, and it was like, wait, this guy's really serious. Speak the different exactly. Now, if God found it out early on, that listen, if these people really put the mind to something and they come together, they'll achieve it. The powers to be also know. They know that, and that's why every chance they get, divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer. Always, 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 always. White versus black, brown versus black, brown versus white, blue versus red. It's always going to be something. Because the moment, if we can all come together and unite, we will destroy that power, the powers that be. There will no longer be the powers that be. There will be the powers that were or was.
Right.
And they don't want that to happen. They want to protect that. The only way to protect that is division.
Right. Okay, so understandably, if somebody was in control like that, they would not want you to unite. But how is it even possible to get people themselves to not want to be divided? That's the question. Because, recently I started asking, one thing that I started saying is that, okay, no matter who you are or what your beliefs are, everybody just wants to be happy. No matter what your religious beliefs are or something like that, you're just trying to live your life in a manner that makes you and your loved ones as happy as possible. And then eventually I was just like, I don't really know if that's true, because there's a lot of people who are online who are constantly looking for something to be upset about, constantly looking to be mad and, I'm being persecuted because of this, that, and the other. So it feels like a lot of people's out there innate desire is to be upset at something, if not to divide themselves from something else or so. It just feels like that. I don't know. Is that just me? But there's a lot of people out there that like to be mad.
It's an actual reality. I mean, there are people out there that don't want what everybody else wants. Of course, that's what makes us human beings. That's what makes us unique. But my point is, if you can convince another person that, listen, this goal benefits you, regardless of your race, creed, color, whatever you believe in, whether you're just that guy who just wants to be mad at the whole world, it still benefits you, because if it doesn't, here's what happens to you, here's what happens to me. If you can convince them, because there are times when we can put our differences aside and say, you know what, I hear you. I don't believe in what you believe, but I understand what this is about.
Right.
So I will help you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because as humans, sometimes you just have to, Like for example, let's say you put a bunch of human beings in a place, and from different walks of life and all that, and you tell them that the only way for all of you to survive is to work together as a team.
Right.
Now there are going to be those that are going to be like, I'm not doing that at first, and the moment like one person dies,
then it gets real.
And then it gets real, but like, okay, what are we supposed to do?
Right.
And then everybody's like, okay, now I get it. If I don't help you guys, I die, and I kind of don't want to die because I want to live. So let's all get it together and do this thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that seems like that's the innate desire to survive from a person. Or
Correct.
To be like, okay,
correct.
The desire to survive means that I have to work together with these other people as a group or so.
Exactly.
So, like, how do we, like, is it even possible to instill that inside of people, to let people know that it's in everyone's best interest to get along versus to separate themselves from somewhere else, somebody else, to make it like they are the ones being persecuted or so, and that they need to be the hero that stands up and throws a rock at this other guy's window or so like that, because that guy's the demon, that guy's the devil or so that's keeping me down. So I'm not trying to. I don't know. It feels like the person.
It's possible. Very possible.
Right. Like, even if you take out the manipulation.
Also, insurmountably difficult.
Yes.
Probably one of the most difficult things in the world. Now, why is that? Because there's so much mind control out there, and it's everywhere you look, and everybody in some way, shape, or form is being mind controlled by something.
Yes. Any form of media that gets placed out there. Even if you see something like, oh, there's this kitty that was saved from a drain pipe or so like that.
Exactly.
Yes, that is unsurmountably positive, but at the same time, it's manipulative when they play that little music in the background to try to touch at the heartstrings.
So we're all being mind controlled, and that's like, so again, the mind control thing is absolutely real. One of the major reasons why as much as I can, I boycott news. Mainstream news, even social media news. Any form of news, I typically try to avoid at all costs. Now, of course, you can't really do that because one way or the other, you still hear it.
Right.
It still gets to you. But
you're not diving into
exactly, I'm not looking for it. I know people who tell you, oh, Julian, I have to know what's going on. I really got to know. I turn the news on. I watch CNN. I got CNBC. I'm like, and that is why you look like a crazy person.
right. You got the Albert Einstein hair going up, stressing out, comes me, being like, I got all these problems. Man, then just focus on what's going on.
And that is why your blood pressure is through the roof. It has nothing to do with what you're eating. Again, but it's the mind conditioning. Because I mean, you turn the news on, it's never anything good. It's always, if it's not downright bad, it's like borderline, but it's never any great news. It's like, so what's the point of me listening to? I don't. At the end of the day, if I can't physically affect what's going on and change it single-handedly, does it really matter?
Right. Like,
you know what I mean?
It seems like it's such an open possibility for somebody to step in and be like, okay, here's CNN, here's Fox, here's this. Here is an entire news station that only puts out, like, the progression that humanity is doing or so.
Exactly.
Oh, look, we've actually built, like, 5 wells in Africa today. Hey, that's a nice news story. Oh, okay. Look, America, we're actually pushing forward with this railway that's going to, like, connect all the states from, like, east to west or so like that. It would seem there would be, like, one news station out there that just puts out how we're progressing as a civilization versus negative.
But if they did that, they wouldn't last.
Right, but that's the thing.
They wouldn't last because, again, you have to understand the powers that be want a certain form of mind control, and they want it to be general across the board. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want thinkers.
Right,
They hate thinkers. That's why they call them conspiracy theorists. They call them. They try to oust them, like, like they make them something like, oh, they're stupid, they're crazy, they don't know what they're talking about. but it's true.
A lot of times, yeah.
A lot of times,
I'm not gonna
it's
say
true.
all of them because all of them are
not
definitely
all of them are not. But
right.
most of the time, they're just people that have really thought like, listen, I'm adding this together, and it doesn't make sense. I'm adding 2 and 2 together, and I keep getting 5, 6, 8, 7, but I'm not getting 4. Why am I not getting 4?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's understandable because the government lies about like everything. Well, if not everything, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So when they lie about a lot of stuff, you can't blame somebody for just thinking that everything they say is a lie.
Absolutely,
so.
absolutely. And I mean, I think everything they do has an agenda. I just believe that, you know, that the mind control thing is just beyond. I mean, it's everywhere you look. You know.
Yeah, it's beyond. But like you said, it's dependent on what the people want, though. Because, like, it seems like if the people demanded there to be, like, a source of good news or positive, then you would think somebody would just say, okay, I'll take it into my own hands and come up, even with YouTube or so like that. I come up with my own hands, come up with my own YouTube channel that's only got this progression news or so like that. And they can't exactly stop somebody from doing it. They don't have to, like, they can demonetize it.
No, yeah, exactly. They can demonetize them, and there's a lot they can do, but at the end of the day, it just seems to me like, you know, people, the truth about it is we've been so conditioned to believe what we believe that people genuinely want to be controlled.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Okay, indulge me for a second here, all right? Mm-hmm. Let's say this whole COVID thing was an experiment by the powers that be, which I believe it is, personally. Call me whatever you want to call me. That's fine. But again, indulge me for a second.
Go for it.
Let's say it was an experiment for them to see if we do this, will they do that? So what I'm saying is, if they say, well, what if we release a virus that's so deadly that kills people, that's killing people faster than anything else that ever killed people in this world, but then we develop a vaccine that's supposed to combat this virus. Now, how quickly and how ready will they be willing to take it? Will they line up around the building to take it? Will they camp out for days to take it? Or will they completely ignore it? And this is an experiment to say, what if we do something greater than that? How will they respond? And will they respond the way they want us to respond? And the answer to their question is yes. Because one thing, I personally have this, I wouldn't say, okay, let me be careful about the words I use here. Mm-hmm. But,
don't get us blacklisted.
I know, right? I know, right? But here's the thing.
No, you're good.
Here's the thing. Bill Gates.
Oh, the Bill Gates.
Watch him. Watch them. The Gates, they're not to be trusted.
There's a lot of people that
they're not to be trusted.
Yeah,
I promise you that he never took any vaccine in his life. Never. Nor has his family. But he has this thing where he wants to vaccinate the whole world. My question to you, to normal people, is how can you get people to willingly want to be vaccinated? In comes COVID-19 coronavirus. Mm-hmm. It's killing people faster than anything else. Oh, guess what we have? We have a vaccine for it. Oh, I want it. Please give it to me. No, please. I'll line up. I'll pay. I'll do whatever you want me to do to get it. Miss me with that BS, man. You're not putting anything in me. God designed my body to fight anything natural or unnatural that comes in it. I just have to give it what it needs. And what it needs is not the vaccine.
Okay, let me put a few caveats in there.
Throw it out there.
Right. Okay.
Throw it out there.
So for the vaccine, I would say one, it could entirely be like an experiment to try to see, all right, let's see how we can get people to want to get vaccinated immediately. But vaccines aren't exactly new because we already had like the polio and all those types of vaccines. So people are already vaccinated like, as children, so right out the gate. But again, if we are going with that theory or so like that, if there is like a new thing they want to give to people, and obviously you can give like the new vaccine to children or so like that. But if they wanted to give it to the adults because they just created something, then that would make sense for them to come out with something like a COVID-19 to be like, okay, here's a new updated vaccine we can give to adults, not
Correct.
only newborns or so. So that part would make sense, but I don't know anything about the allegations about Bill Gates. I know that I know that he's on his.
There have been. Okay,
I know he does a lot of work. We're trying to vaccinate people.
This is my problem with every billionaire, millionaire, especially American millionaires and billionaires. Why do you keep going to Africa? Why is Africa your go-to? It's like your testing ground, your dumping ground. There has been news of tests that have been done in Africa that have killed hundreds and thousands of Africans that you never hear on mainstream media.
Right.
Ever. Now you hear the good things. Oh, Bill Gates is going to Africa and putting toilets in Africa. Yeah, because that's what they need in Africa. More toilets. More water.
They do need water, though.
They have water. I've been to Africa. I've
Right.
lived in Africa. Now, for people who don't know and who haven't been there, they think of Africa like this remote country.
No, it's not.
Oh,
a
they don't have
savanna.
anything.
Right.
Oh, those guys are just poor little guys. Don't believe the hype.
Right. They've got towns. They got cities.
They have people that
They've
are
got tech.
smarter than Harvard graduates in Africa that have never been to a college.
Right.
Straight up. But again, that's the problem with Africa is greed.
Mm-hmm.
The leaders are greedy. They get people like this, millionaires and billionaires, who want to do things that are inhuman and immorally, crazy or whatever you want to call it. And they say, we'll give you X amount of dollars. And all they see is dollar signs. They don't care about the people that are going to die. They don't care about the economy that's going to be jacked up.
Right.
They don't care about anything else because these people are greedy. And that's Africa's problem. If we can get... Now, not all of Africa. There's some African leaders that will tell you, you're not coming to my country. Get the heck out. You come back here again, they're going to be taking your dead body out of here.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, is that we're making gross generalizations right here. But
so they know what countries not to mess with. They know what countries to go to and what countries to say, don't mess with that guy over there. He's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Mm-hmm. But majority of African countries, that's how the leaders are. Especially like, the ones that are more like the western part of Africa, and not more the Middle Eastern, because they don't like anything Western. They are anti-Western, and that's why they claim they have terrorists who basically are fighting to not have the whole world westernized. Mm-hmm. So they don't go to the Middle East and try that BS over there.
Right.
They know not to do that. You'll get shot, you'll get killed, and they'll bury you. Nobody ever finds you.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So, but they know where to go to do these things because they know the leaders to approach. They know, oh, this one's a little crooked. If we throw some money at him, he'll let us do what we need to do. Doesn't matter how many people dies. He's not going to care. But
plus, again, that is like a country that's like rich in wheat resources and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So,
and then they exploit. They exploit the people. They exploit the economy. And my thing is, like, why? Why are you going to Africa? If you want to help people with all your billions of dollars, walk down your street.
That's what I was about to say, too.
Walk down the street. I guarantee you walk past 2-3 homeless guys that you can say, listen, I can build a house for you. I can feed you for the next 30 days. You don't got to go to Africa. Right. You don't have to go across the Atlantic Ocean to find that. I promise you that. Go to the hood. Every city has a hood.
Right.
Go to your hood and do something good.
The inner cities.
They
can easily just like restructure schools and stuff that need all this.
Put your billions of dollars there.
Yeah.
But why do you go across the sea and then you want to put it on paper? Oh, we put so many toilets and we give them good fresh drinking water. You know what? When I went to Africa, I didn't drink tap water. I didn't drink well water. I drank regular, bottled water, filtered water in some situations. I didn't get sick. Nothing happened to me. So, and it wasn't courtesy of Bill Gates coming there to do something great. Mm-hmm. No. they had their own system.
But that's a question
You
too,
know what I mean?
though, is I think when they're talking about Africa, again, we always make these gross generalizations ourselves. So it's kind of like we were saying, talking about here. Like, you can say,
Yeah.
oh, I went to America and, oh, they had skyscrapers and
Yeah.
cities and buildings and convenience stores and stuff like that. Depending on where you're at. If you're in New York, yeah, there's going to be all this stuff. But
Correct.
if you go somewhere like Mississippi, you're not going to see that shit.
Exactly.
If you, again, go to Detroit, you're going to see all these
Exactly.
run-down, low-town places and stuff like that. But you go somewhere like San Francisco,
Yeah.
you might see, okay, high, rich people
Exactly.
society and stuff like that. So it could be the same thing there, as in, okay, you go to Africa, there are for sure
Of course
areas
they,
that
of
are
course they are.
impoverished.
They're,
and, yeah,
yes,
need
there are
the
a lot
wells
of
and
that.
water
Absolutely.
and stuff like that. So,
But it is not up to some billionaire to come in dressed like a white and shiny armor and has an agenda.
right. But then
It's
at that
up to
point,
the government to do something. And the problem is the government in that country, like so many countries, are not willing because that the number of population it affects is not great enough for them to say, we're not going to spend money on them.
all right, which
They're-
is very
you know,
unfortunate.
of course.
Yeah.
But it happens here too.
Yeah,
In the
it
United
does.
States. It happens right here. You know, they're like, oh, you know what? That community, there's only so many people there. We're not going to spend money over there.
Mhm.
We'll put the money right here. You know what I mean? Hence the reason why they claim they do a census, but then they do a census and you still don't get enough funding for like the inner city, you know,
Right.
community and the things that can benefit the inner city, like youth and things like that. You don't get that but then they fund places that, you know, like, you know, that benefit them with tourist attractions and stuff like that. They fund places like that because it makes them beaucoup money.
Right.
You know, so again, it really, this is the mentality. And my thing is, like, I just, it just annoys me when all this building go across the sea. Oprah went over there and she started her own school, and, you know, this many people graduated and they got scholarship. They had schools in Africa. They got universities in Africa. They got some of the best universities in the world in Africa as well. You know, it's like, don't make it seem like you're going there to do something that's never been done over there.
Right.
That's what annoys me. You know, and for the majority of people that have never been to Africa and all they've watched is Natural Geographic and they think gods must be crazy is a perfect definition of what Africans look like, running around with a leopard skin. That's not Africa.
Right.
That might be a tribe in Africa, but that's not Africa.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So for that definitely could be too, like, the short-sightedness on, like, let's say the rich billionaire side. As in, they know what's going on over in Africa. They know there's going to be, like, actual society over there. But maybe they hear, okay, they see all these advertisements saying, okay, help a child in Africa do this, that, and the other. And then inside their head, they're probably like, okay,
Those
maybe
commercials.
I
Good
can
gracious.
up how the people around me see me. Maybe I can be looked at as a savior if I go and save these guys over there. Obviously, I can save some kids in the inner city, but this is just trying to give them a little something here. If they're saying, okay, kids in the inner city, they do have a roof to stay under, even though they may get shot, like, on a daily basis. And yeah, they have, like, druggy parents, and they can't
Druggy
they basically they live in a very shit part of society that they have no chance of growing up having a successful future or so like that. But those guys don't got shoes. So let me go over there and help those guys over there that don't got shoes, because that's all they see on the media is, oh, those guys don't have shoes.
Exactly.
So they don't look in to be like, oh, no, there's actually a pretty sophisticated society over here. They're just like, well, this video says those guys don't got shoes, so these guys do got shoes even though they're holy. Let me help the guys with no shoes whatsoever. So they go over there, do that, and then virtue signal in a way to look like, oh, I'm the savior of this uncivilized society by going over here and doing that.
All right.
Look at how selfless I am.
So
Could
that,
be. Again, I don't know how these people are thinking, but that's a possibility.
But you hit the nail on the head, and you basically bring into light what I'm really trying to pull out, because this is what I tell people. You know, like, most people depict the devil as, you know, this red figure with horns and the tail that looks like an arrow, and, you know, fangs that come out to here and eyes
That's
like
just
fire.
a symbol of
I
what
know,
he is,
correct.
so.
That's
But
a
yes,
symbol.
I got you.
So when you're looking for the devil to approach you, you're looking for that symbol. Now, joke's on you, because here's what I tell people. The devil, when he comes to you, he's not even going to come to you anything close. He's going to come to you like his magic Don Juan. He's going to come to you like you have needed him before you even knew you needed him. And by the time he's done with you, you wouldn't even know that he's the devil until he's completely accomplished what he came to do. Boom, bam, done. Because the devil's never going to show up to you and be like, hey, I'm the devil.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to say, hey, I'm here to help you. What do you want? What does Tyrone want? Well, let's get Tyrone what he wants. Is this what Tyrone wants? Sure, I can give that to you. I can give that to you. Now, it's going to cost you a really small price. You know, the price is so small, it's insignificant to you. But look at all, don't focus on that. Look at all these benefits. I do want your soul, but hey, who cares? You're going to have money. You're going to have power. You're going to have women. You know, who cares about your soul? What's your soul anyway? Where is it? Nobody knows. Don't focus on that.
Right,
Look
right.
at these things that I'm going to give you. Am I right or am I right? That's how that comes to you. And you're like, Rich has been in my wildest dream. I can get that Bugatti. I can be on TV. You could be the biggest superstar anybody's ever known. Yeah, just sign right here. Sure. Excellent. You know what? Pleasure doing business with you.
Okay, let's go down that path real quick. Let's go down that path. Just imagine if it was that easy. Imagine if it was just... Okay, let's say there's an app that just comes out on everybody's phone that is just like, okay, would you like to do a deal with the devil? If you say yes, you'll give up your soul, but you'll get all these things. How many people?
A lot of people would yes,
exactly. So imagine,
of course,
there would be so many more successful, rich people in America if it was that simple.
Exactly, but there will also be a lot of people who would have sold the devil and are going straight to there on the highway to hell.
Right.
You know what I
but
mean?
Again, they would
they wouldn't
in the
care
meantime, though.
until the time gets there. They might be like, wait, what did I do? Oh. And like I said, by the time you realize it, it's way too late.
Yes.
That's the same thing here.
It is.
They come as a knight in shining armor. They already know what the agenda is.
Right.
But you don't know what the agenda is. Now, you hear what they tell you, and that's all you focus on. Oh, you need water? Oh, I have the money to pull the water from over there and bring it over here for you. Oh, but you know what? Give me about 100 people. There's this new drug that I want to test on them. It'll make them healthy. Don't worry about them. Okay, so you come back and be like, oh man, we got running water. Oh yeah, by the way, what happened to those 100 people? Oh, those 100 people? Well, we're taking care of them right now. You know, we're monitoring them. You know, but you know, the family said they've been gone for like 6 months. Don't worry. Look at all this water. Where else do you need water, by the way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We need water over there as well, and back over there. Let me get my guys to work on that. You know what I mean? Then again,
right.
Just like that, you've been distracted. That's how I perceive it, and that's how. So the good things they put on the media, the bad ones they cover up.
Yes,
they sweep under the rug, and nobody ever hears about it.
They for sure do.
Except the people that were there was like, I saw him sweep it under the rug. I knew it. I was there. I saw it happen.
Right.
And then they try to tell the world, listen, don't believe this. It's not what it seems like. They're not all good. They're doing some crazy stuff down here. We don't want this stuff, but we can't do much because our government, is telling them that they can.
Right. Okay, but before we get too far, though, let's go back to the thing. Because I want to make clear that we do not believe, at least I don't believe, that Bill Gates was just a devil manifested who's out of nowhere, has no childhood, has no family or anything like that.
No.
That's just over there
I'm not,
to suck as many people down
Bill
the path of...
Bill Gates is not the devil.
He's a human being.
I just question a lot of things that he does that's on mainstream media that looks like it's good.
Yeah.
I question that a lot.
Right, and then that will make you think, okay, what is his idea behind doing those things, though, too?
Because he's talked about depopulating the whole world before in different, forms, saying that the world is overpopulated. And
Which makes sense.
That's BS.
I mean, but it makes sense.
That's complete BS. The world is not overpopulated.
Right,
Because I was watching something on YouTube, actually, and I went to this website, I can't remember, but it shows, like, the world and what population of the world is actually inhabited by people.
What part is not together.
Correct. The part that is not way surpasses the part that is.
Right.
So how are you telling me that we're overpopulated? Now, of course, what they're going to show you is they're going to be like, well, look at the inner city. Well, look at this. Well, look at that over here. Well, look at when you go out. Look at the highways. Look at the freeways. So, people live where they want to live.
Right, right.
You know, and of course, if there's a certain thing going on in this city that's better than this city, you're probably going to have people migrate from this city over to this city.
With the resources.
New York, L.A., like you said, you know, New York, L.A., Texas, all those places, yeah. But there's tons of places like in Idaho that you can literally go miles and miles and miles without seeing one human being.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think them saying that the world is overpopulated is, again, a simplistic way of saying, okay, the answer is this. Okay, it's too many people. I mean, if you really want to get down and dirty, then yeah, you will have to do that, like go into each of those different cultures or so like that and fix the clustered areas. Like, okay, why are there so many homeless over here? It's not because of overpopulation, but it's because we're not dealing with the mental health problem or something like that.
Yeah.
Or we're not giving them, anybody who has like a criminal record or so like that, we're not giving them like a pass towards actually getting a job and fixing up their career or anything like that. Again, that's a more complicated, harder thing to do, and people just like the quick, simplistic answer of too many fucking people. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so my question is, when you say too many people, and then, so to me, you're telling me that automatically, as a logically thinking man, I'm thinking, so what are you telling me is what? Oh, well, what I'm telling you is that if the world was half the population it had right now, we'll be fine. Again, I'm thinking like, so you just want to kill half the world?
Thanos. Snap your fingers.
Exactly. So now you're like Thanos, and you're just gonna snap your finger and half the world's gonna just disappear somewhere.
But the big problem with that too is that half of the world disappears, but that means that half of the people producing all the supplies that people need are disappearing.
Exactly. That's my point with that. So
half of the people
and how do you know that the ones that are productive are the ones that are left?
Yeah, right.
Because the ones that are left could be the ones that don't know how to do jack scratch.
Unless it's a targeted culling of half of the
exactly.
Again, that's just
that's a whole different.
Right. I don't believe that's happening at all.
That opens a whole different gambit.
Right.
Nah, I'm not even going down that road.
Coronavirus is.
I'm not going down that road.
That's
but
secretly genetically manipulated to be like.
I mean, if I were the devil and I was thinking like the devil and I threw out a virus that's killed 100,000 millions of people, and I wanted to get rid of a good bit of the population.
And it's not too dangerous, but it is pretty dangerous.
How about you come get my vaccine?
I mean, I'd be like, all right, devil. I don't like the way you said that.
Exactly.
So I'm out. Can you say it again, but look like a sexy lady? Can you do?
Now, hey, listen. The truth is, I don't know what the vaccine is. I don't know what's in there.
Again, just playing.
Again, you know, I know a lot of people that have taken it, and I know the reasons they've taken it.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. I mean, I understand that. Personally, my only issue is I'm a logically thinking person. I'm a critical thinker, and my thing is, okay, we have this disease that just came out. It's fairly new. They're still learning about coronavirus every day, so to speak. And supposedly you have a vaccine that can cure it, but we have things like AIDS and cancer that's been around with us like centuries, and we still can't come out with something simple to stop that, like a vaccine or treatment. We're still doing chemo, you know. We think chemo is like the only way we can cure cancer. And then, you know, of course the doctors tell you, well, back then we didn't have all this technology. Okay, yeah, but you have the technology now, but why are you not using it to cure AIDS, to cure cancer, to cure, you know, all this stuff? But supposedly you can do it for coronavirus.
They've got the technology to manipulate genes.
Which is, you know, the newest disease that you don't know much about at this point. And now there's a second strain and the third strain. Who knows if there's going to be a fourth, fifth strain? And the more the strains come in, so will the vaccine work for the third strain? Or do you now have to make another vaccine for the third strain? So you see, there's a lot of questions there's a lot of legitimate questions that I have. So when people say, well, oh, you're just talking about the vaccine because, you're one of the conspiracy theorist people. I'm not. But think about it logically. Like, look at what I just asked you. Like, even a doctor can't answer that.
Right.
I've asked a doctor.
Because again, they don't know
straight,
either.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you don't know, well, then I don't want this thing in my body.
Right. See, that's
know.
Okay. So that's your
now,
main
like
issue.
you said, not to
Yeah.
cut you off, but earlier you said that we've already had vaccines like polio. Yes, but those have been tested, tried, and true.
Yeah, it's been around for years.
And they've been
so we
around
have
for
answers
years.
to those
So we have
questions.
answers to those. We know
Yes.
what's in there, but these we don't.
Right.
And no one's really telling us what's in it.
That's the thing. And that's where I'm saying my issue lies is that if we're going to talk about the vaccine or so, I want to have like an honest conversation about it.
Exactly.
I don't want people to like manipulate stuff to be like, no, there's no side effects whatsoever. No matter what the vaccine is, it's going to do like a lot of good.
Exactly.
But even if it's like 1 out of a million, there's going to be one or so that like veers off and, oh, this person actually got this illness from it or so like that.
Correct.
I want people to be 1,000% honest about
Thank
those
you.
things too.
That's
And
the
then we
thing.
can have an actual conversation. Like, allow me to take that information. Okay, it's only one out of a million. Okay, I'll take those odds. Don't try to say, nah, nothing ever bad happens.
Exactly.
So
Oh,
like that.
it's all great.
Gonna
It's all
cover
good.
every single thing.
It's all
No,
good.
actually be honest about what they do
Yeah.
know, what they don't
Tell me
know.
what's in
the
it.
Side effects. Yeah.
Tell me what's in it. Is it frog piss? Is it cat balls? Like, tell me.
I mean, but they have. They broke
tell
it down. They broke
tell
it down
me,
the vaccines
tell me what it
here.
is. But because okay, assume that I'm stupid and break it down for me like you would do a 5-year-old child. Einstein says this: if you cannot explain to a 5-year-old child, you don't understand it yourself.
Well,
And
yeah.
if you're trying to confuse me with big, medical terms, then you don't know what you're talking about.
Right,
End of
right.
story. I don't care how many years you were in medical school, you don't know what you're talking about. Einstein is still one of the, he's still one of the greatest genius that ever,
that people reference. all the
that
time.
people
Yes.
reference, even though he's been dead for more than, I don't know, how many years at
I
this
don't
point.
know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But people still reference Einstein. And this man said, if you cannot explain it simply that a 5-year-old child can grasp the understanding and say, oh, I know, I understand that, then you don't understand it yourself. And that's how I live my life. Like, I'm like, okay, if I explain this to a 5-year-old child, will they get it?
Right.
Will they get it? And I find a 5, and I say, hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's why I'm doing this. Do you understand it? Yes. Well, why am I doing it? Well, you're doing it because blah, 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 blah. Boom. All right. So
Right.
I'm good. The 5-year-old child understands it. And if you're an adult and you don't get it, well, we're not going to.
Well, yeah, you're at the
that
same
just-
level. Yeah.
That just
Are
says
you-
something about you.
Are you smarter than the 5th grader? It exists for a reason.
Exactly.
Right.
but that's it. Give every part of it and let people make an informed, educated decision about it. That's all I'm saying. Don't try to tell us that, oh, it's good for you, it's good. And then you tell me that, oh, yeah, by the way, after you take the vaccine, you still got to wear a mask.
Right.
Isn't that the whole purpose I'm trying to take the vaccine anyway? So I can stop wearing a mask.
Right. It's to get back to the normality of what we were at before, which again, we know it's not going to go back to that. But that I will also say too is that entire fault, I would say, lies on the establishment or so. Because it is the responsibility of the people in power to come out with a coordinated message to allow us to know stuff about that. I shouldn't have to go down like a YouTube rabbit hole for like 2 hours to try to figure out
Exactly.
what's
What's
this
the
vaccine that all these
exactly.
people have. No, it should just be like,
Exactly.
okay, if the government wants to instill people's confidence in the vaccine, okay, here's everything we know about it. Okay, we're sending out, I don't know, a text message to everybody's phones.
Exactly.
Educate yourself
Or
on
just
this and
make a
make an
website
educated decision. Yes.
that we can go to and read about
Yes.
it, whether it's 10 pages long
Right.
or whether it's 3 pages long. And if you really want to know, you'll spend the time to know and then make an
Yes.
informed decision.
But at least
That's
give
all
us
I'm
that
asking.
so we don't have to go down all that
Exactly,
hunting
because even the
thing
YouTube
ourselves.
rabbit hole, we don't know if they're correct.
Right, exactly.
We're
gotta
just
vet stuff.
going to assume they're correct. Just because it got 5.2 million subscribers and it had 10 million views, that doesn't make it
Right,
correct.
right.
That doesn't make it right. So I don't know. This person's not a doctor. They're just saying what they heard from a doctor and what the doctor told them it's supposed to do. But
Right.
that's in general. I get what the vaccine is supposed to do in general. I get it. You're introducing something into your body that's foreign and try to have your body, cohabitate with it so it knows what it is. So when it actually sees it next time, it can fight it. I
Right.
get all that. I don't agree with it,
Okay.
but I understand it.
Right,
I
right.
really
It's
don't
just
agree
the
with
science
it.
of it, right.
That's
You can
that's the
disagree
long
on a
and
moral
exactly.
point.
That's
but,
the long
yeah.
and short of what a vaccine is. If you don't know, now you know. They actually, even though they say the virus is dead, but still, it's like
Defaultly, they said for
You
this
know.
one, there's like 4 different types of vaccines or so that they have. Like again, I went down this rabbit hole to try to figure out
Exactly.
about it, and they said like the 2 main ones that they're putting out there. There is the one
Yeah.
where they do introduce like the dead strain of the virus, but they're not doing that for this one. They're introducing something that's similar to it, but it's not the dead strain. It's
correct.
just like
Something that's
genetic-
more like that your body produces and
Yes,
I-
and it'll
I-
create the
correct.
antibodies. Or
Exactly,
so like that.
and
So
they're
it's
trying
not
to
the dead
mimic
strain
it.
this time. Yes,
correct. And I read all
So,
that too, but
right,
I'm
right.
still like, but that still hasn't answered all my questions.
Right, right.
Again, that's just the theoretical aspect of what it's supposed to do.
Mhm.
And I get that. I get it. I get the theoretical aspect of it. But again, where does this leave us? Like, I mean, and if somebody dies from it, don't try to hide it and be like,
Right,
oh, no,
don't
that
hide
didn't
it.
happen. No, we don't know what happened with that guy. Like, nah, push him aside. Roll him
Right.
under the carpet.
Because
like,
they
you
would
know
think
what I mean?
doing
No.
that would be like, okay, if we cover up all the deaths or all the side effects and stuff like that, then it'll raise people's like confidence in it. But for me, it does the opposite because it's just like, well, if you're trying to hide stuff, then there must be
Exactly.
some
Then
stuff
there
there.
must be
Just
something
be
wrong
honest.
with it. Exactly.
Again,
Just
have
be
an
wrong
open,
with-
honest
Again,
conversation.
this is what happened with this guy. This is probably what happened.
Right.
It was the result, but again, you can advise and say, you know what, this is 1 in whatever million, whatever thousand, and we noticed that this guy has this kind of body type, this kind of
Yes.
blood cell type. So if you have this, you may want to be cautious. You may want to talk to your doctor about it before you take the vaccine. Then people can say, okay, you know what, I do have that. Let me talk to my doctor. Hey, doc, do you think I should take it? Well, have you gotten tested for COVID? Yes. Have you tested negative? Well, you know what? Why don't you just continue to social distance yourself, wear your mask, clean your hands, do all that, and let's just not avoid
Right,
that
right.
because we don't want to take the chance.
Yeah.
Now, people were more inclined to say, oh, okay, cool. You know what? All right, I don't have that, and I don't know anybody in my situation that have died from that. So I want
I'll
the
take it,
vaccine.
right.
I'll take it, and that I'm okay with that. But don't hide stuff and don't try to make it seem like, oh no, they didn't die from the vaccine.
Right,
no,
right.
no, that didn't happen.
Disingenuous.
Like no, like be honest, be open, honest, give people all the information, and because even if you say, look, every out of 10 people that take this, 5 die, I guarantee some people will say, you know what, I'm still going to take the chance.
Right.
Because
I don't want to put my grandmother at risk
exactly,
or
some
something
people,
like that. They're like, all right.
you'll still find people say, you know what, I'll take the chance.
All right.
And that's the prerogative.
Mm.
You can't stop them. You can't say, you know that there's a 50-50 chance that you'll survive. Yep, I know, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a full-grown adult. You do what you want.
Exactly. You're a full-grown adult. You can do what you want, and that's on you. But don't go there with thinking that, okay, now I can do this, I can do that, and then all of a sudden, complications and things happen, and then now it's like you're fighting for your life when you should be living your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Woo! Man, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was. So
I didn't know it was going to go down that path, but hey.
Hey,
You know,
you never know where it's gonna
You
go.
never know where it's going to
Just
go,
kinda
you
go with the
know?
flow.
But, I mean, food for thought, people. Food for thought.
It's not bad for right
You
now.
know. I don't know. Until next time, I don't know when we're going to be able to do this again because schedules and everything and life and COVID is still out there.
Maybe by the next time we do another one, COVID might be gone.
Maybe.
Who knows how long?
Maybe it might be
Who
gone.
knows how
Maybe it
long
might still
it'll
be
be.
peeking around the corner like, let me see what they're doing over
Right.
there.
Or COVID Mach 5 or something like that. I don't know.
And who knows? Maybe
So-
we'll have some mutants that will come up and be like, ha, we know what to do with COVID. Leave COVID to us. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Who
Or we
knows?
just have a little tattoo of, what is it, the mark of the beast where we got our vaccine next time. Size of our neck or
Yeah, I
so,
wouldn't be
look
taking
like a
any of
vampire
that. I
bite.
would be, yeah, you can mix me with that. I'll be
they
like,
gonna put
nope,
bags
thank you
over your
very
head.
much. I'm going to go left. Maybe right.
Mhm.
Wherever you're not going is where I'm going.
Alright, watch them corners at nighttime, man. Alright, but that's what we got for right now.
All right, that's it. Until the next time,
Yep.
stay safe, stay healthy,
Stay smart.
stay
educated,
smart, stay educated,
do what you
and read and think about everything. All right?
do. That's all we
Think
got.
for yourself.